When you implement this trail elbow in the downswing move, you'll shallow it, get more lag, and play better golf. Let's dive in. Alright, this trail elbow move in the downswing, what am I talking about? So I'll set up on a down the line view for you, and I'll show this from a few different angles so you get a better look at it. When you get to the top of your backswing here, what I'm recommending you look at doing is this trail elbow. For me, it's my right elbow. As it comes down, I want you to feel like it traces along your rib cage and moves down the side of your body here. Now, why is that such a good thing in the golf swing? Well, if I can do that, get that right or trail elbow to trace down my ribs there, not the whole way of the downswing, at least that first part of the downswing, what it does, helps you shallow the golf club, helps you get more lag, and improves your rotation, making it easier to hit from the inside, meaning you'll be able to hit draws and a lot more consistent strikes on the ball. Now, the opposite to that, what I see most golfers doing, that trail elbow, instead of tracing down like this, it tends to go out. You can see what happens when the elbow goes out. Club gets steep, hands go out, the right shoulder goes out as well. Everything goes out, forcing the club down steep, cutting across the golf ball. And that's where you get your big slices, your big pulls, a whole host of problems in your golf swing. All right, so from face on, what does it look like? So as we get to the top of our backswing, we want that right or that trail elbow tracing down there. And you'll see if you're doing this right, you should see the gap close fairly quickly between this trail elbow and your ribs here. So look something like this. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I'll just turn a bit this way. You can see I'm not out here like this. I've closed that gap there. So I'm here and I'm closing that gap to there. Extremely important. You probably won't see it too well from this angle towards the camera. I don't think you're going to be able to see it very well there at all. But again, from here, keeping it nice and close. From this angle here, nice and close to that rib cage here. Now, if you're having trouble doing this, there could be some reasons why. First one could be lack of rotation. If you're starting your downswing, you're not rotating enough, what you'll find, your body will stall here, your hands and arms will take over. Now, if your hands and arms take over and you stop rotating, it's impossible for that trail elbow to stay bent and close to your body. It will come away, arms will extend, and you'll have to flip through at the golf ball. Now, the other common one is early extension. Again, this is tied into other problems as well, but if you're someone that stands up taller in the downswing, you get further from the ball, you'll have no choice but to extend those arms. The elbow will go straight very quickly. It'll come away from the body. Again, you have to be flipping at the golf ball. So those are two very common ones. The other one will be a lack of weight shift. If you're someone that gets to the top here, leaves all your weight on the back foot, naturally that right elbow will straighten because you're further away from the golf ball. The only way of hitting it is to extend those arms, all right? Those are the three reasons why you're having trouble with that trail elbow. So let's look at how we can fix it for you. All right, the first thing you need to do to get this trail elbow in the right spot on the downswing is you need right side bend. So let's have a look. Now, the opposite of right side bend would be standing up tall, getting further from the ball, elbow shoots out, arms extend. So what I want you to do when we start our downswing, we get down lower. Now this next part, as we rotate, we get right side bend. This right shoulder gets lower towards the ground. I'll do that again. We go here. You see that right elbow's tracing down my ribs. Then we're getting right side bend. And you'll see, I'll turn around here, when you get that right side bend to here, you'll see I get shaft lean, I get lag, to here, I get lag. I'm going to hit the ball a lot more solid. I'm going to compress it with my irons, but this is also going to work for your driver and your hybrids and your woods as well. But that right side bend move of there, that right shoulder a bit lower, that's going to help you get that right elbow more tucked into your ribs and in that great impact position. A really powerful move. Have a look at these pro golf swings on the screen. Now you'll see from down the line, that trail elbow traces down that rib cage, it shallows out the club, and they get into a great impact position. Now, the club won't stay against the ribs the whole way. Obviously, it will come off, but it traces down for that first part of the downswing, getting into them a great spot. And you can also see from face on how they close that gap between the trail elbow and their ribs, enabling them to get lag. That's how they're getting more power. That's how they're hitting the ball so much further, and they get that great consistency. Here's a drill I want you to practice. Grab yourself an alignment stick or something very similar to this. You're going to place it under your right elbow pit. You don't even have to be holding a club to do this, but I'm going to show you this in this example. So just going to hold it there just with a sort of a reasonably light to medium sort of pressure under your armpit. Now, if you're doing this correctly, as we get to the top of the backswing here, this alignment stick should stay on top of my lead arm here as I rotate all the way through. Okay? It's just fractionally come off there, but it should stay fairly close to it all the way through. That helps keep your arm structure in place. If I was doing this incorrectly, you can see here it comes right off that lead arm. But what you want to do is just keep everything on in a nice structure all the way through to impact there. Just comes off right at the end there, but most of the way down in this downswing, got that elbow tracing down my rib cage through to impact there in a great spot there. That is a great drill to practice. You don't have to hit shots doing that, but it gives you a great feel of that trail elbow in the downswing. All right, the favorite way of mine of practicing this is just to get over a ball here. Again, initially, you don't need to be hitting shots to do this, but you're just going to take the club up to the top, and all you're going to do is feel like this trail elbow just sort of bangs into your side of your ribs here. And you'll see as soon as you do that, as long as you've got some good wrist angles to here, that's the move. As long as you've got decent wrist angles with a bit of cupping and that trail wrist and the downswing, you'll find that club will shallow automatically. You don't even have to think about it. That's going to be the feel for you. If you've ever looked at your golf swing on video, which I encourage you to do, and you're just finding, as you start your downswing, there's a really big gap here between your trail elbow and your ribs. And you're just finding you're casting it a bit, your elbow's coming away, you're losing power. I want you to practice this. This will be a real game changer for you. You're going to get to the top, elbow's going to hit the ribs to here, and you're just going to stop. And that's what you're going to practice. You can see here the club's shallow. I'm going to hit from the inside. Happy days on the golf course. So that's what you're going to do. Top, hit the ribs, impact. Practice that at least 10, 20 times a day. And once you're feeling really confident with it, you've done it so many times, bang, bang. Here, bang, bang. That sequence is going to be an absolute game changer in your golf swing. So from face on, going to the top, bang, bang. Those moves are going to make a huge difference in the way you strike the golf ball. So let's hit one here. I'm not too concerned how I hit it. It's more about getting that sequence right and the flow and effect it's going to have in your golf game. So let's get over one. All I'm going to do is go to here, and through like that. That's going to be the sequence. Do this right, you will rotate better, get better lag, come from the inside. So many good things are going to happen in your golf game. So let's get over one. Slowly to here, here, and through. That's going to be how you practice. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I want to know, after you've tried this, has it made a difference to your golf game? Have you found that working on this trail elbow has got you shallowing the club much better? I've got an important video coming up that I want you to watch, because this talks about how to stop standing up in the downswing, which ties right in with this video. So make sure you watch it. It's coming up.